Well, hello guys. I thought about going to school again. It was like before I started going to school way before, and one of the issues before was my career path switching. Like the reason why I came out here, Florida, because I wanted to play basketball. I was always into basketball, and I was going to actually play college ball. But then I started to have injuries. I had like a whole huge spinal injury. Most people don't even know about. Throughout the situation, I had a concussion. Parts of my nerve area it wasn't damaged, but it was like really injured to the point that it became a lot more sensitive enough for me to have like sometimes tremors or like random seizures and type of things. So I dealt with that, throughout my senior year, and those things was really playing a big impact on my school grades, all those type of things. Because before, like I said, in high school, I didn't really care about school too much. I was doing good in some classes, but there's some classes I generally just wouldn't take. I wouldn't want to waste my time doing. I'd rather go hang out with some people or just skip, classes and stuff like that. So I used to do that most of my time throughout, in high school and stuff like that. But my senior year, I really suffered with that, so I had to figure out a way to get my credit up to enough to graduate. But the good thing about Florida, since y'all school is being a little pathetic out here, I was able to graduate. My credit was still, a little bit more decent enough for me to still graduate. I just had to complete certain classes that I didn't take from my junior and sophomore year, which are like geometry and those type of things, because I wasn't attending class like that. So I graduated on time, of course, and I couldn't play basketball because I was dealing with that issue. The thing I had to do was specifically I had to do some type of like go to some type of attendance school for like those like 4 months of school that we had left of school, and I completed it, graduated on time, and I was pretty much good. But I had to figure out what do I really need to do? What should I really do with my life? Then I thought about business, but my thing is my family kind of pushed me into like the whole college thing. I was a little sus about it. My intuition was kind of telling me like, nah, this is not the specific thing that you were talking about in your mind when it comes to business. Nah, like start something, just to have, like plan out an idea. But I didn't listen anyway because again I was still a little naive. I was going through a lot of other mental issues with my personal health and my career path, all those type of things. So it caused a lot of stress, and I didn't know how to manage or understand, or I didn't really understand these things because I wasn't fully conscious of myself and knowing things I needed that I know now. So I just ended up doing school. I was a little interested in it a little bit because there's just few things that few key notes to whatever I took when it comes to understanding businesses and systems work. So it helped me a lot with understanding that. But then as time went by, I started to look at it like, what am I doing this? So let's say if I was to graduate with a business degree, I'll be working under someone else's dream, someone else's business career. So like, what's the whole point of me doing that? And I understand that time is the real enemy in this circumstance. So this won't benefit me long term at all. And this is not where I'm heading towards. I'm heading towards having my own business. And I understand now that I'm better off learning to start my own business than trying to go throughout that whole process and get lucky enough to actually be able to start my own business once I, get into the whole business system and all that stuff. So looking back at that, then I'm like, all right, you know what, fuck this shit. And I ended up dropping out, of course, from that school. But then months later, this is like I said, this is like 2023. Going into 2024, I started to realize I noticed that there's consequences with doing that. You still gotta fucking pay, do all that student loan shit. So that's the situation I've been thinking about. I'm like, damn. Like I already put myself into this shit. Really should have been a lot more conscious, but when you got family stuff like that, that's not aware of like certain things when it comes to the school system and how important these life decisions can really put people in debt and stuff like that. So it's whatever. So it's that situation really. But then years later now, I'm thinking about going back to school, and I am in the process now, like going to school. And I think this story as well, my whole basketball, story, my whole journey, have brought me a lot more into, health, and also inspiring other people to, take care of their health and stuff like that. So I will be going to school for physical therapy, something I've been interested in a lot. And I'm already knowledgeable about health. I would like to learn a lot more, the detail and definition of certain words. But like when it comes to the understanding the deep mechanics about the details of the body and this type of things, something I already understand, something I've always been into. So I think this is where this journey has been taking me overall, going through all those experiences, just to be able to switch lanes and understand a lot more deeper about, besides just basketball, but like the health aspect of it. And maybe one day I could be training other athletes. So I want to see where this go. I know it's going to be a great journey because this is going to be something that's aligned with who I am. And this is also going to help me learn a lot more about taking care of my health and showing y'all the reality of what health is supposed to be. And of course, I believe that I'm going to be kind of against sharing knowledge with the school, knowledge on health. I know I will. But this is where I can use this experience to battle against the truth and the concept of what they want us to be programmed to understand, to knowing. Because I know there's a lot of faults within the health industry, and with the knowledge I have now, I have to go there with open thoughts, but also not being too naive or delusional with certain knowledge on certain parts of health. So I'm going to see, and I'm going to let y'all know as we continue to keep moving on with our videos. And this is just an update, just to let y'all know where I'm at, and something y'all can take from this as well is like, things are going to change and shift in your life, especially when you have certain ideas, and it's okay. It's what it is. But when you start to look back after now picking your current thing that you're interested in doing, you look back, it feels like a movie. You start to make a lot more sense. Like for example, me, I was into basketball until I had my injury. So now I'm looking back at it now. There's probably some things that I could have looked at a lot more, which is the health and the biomechanics and the way how to move and this type of things. So this may help me a lot. Teaching other people as well, and also helping me improve myself and stuff. I can still hoop and shit like that. So if you want to run them ones, if you see me in real life, let's run them ones. But it's just another way of letting me know more about life. So see you guys in the next video.